Why is Adderall so addictive? Here is Adderall. This right here says amphetamine salts 20 milligrams. These are 20 milligram Adderalls. This is the generic version of Adderall. This is actually what I take. And why is this addictive? And I want to share with you because I am ADHD. I was diagnosed ADD originally right around 13, 14. Later on, I was re-diagnosed as ADHD. And I've been on Adderall for a majority of my life. If you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button. My name is Eric. I'm not a doctor, a counselor, or therapist. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, and MDD. I struggle with body image and body dysmorphia. I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. And I like to share all the experiences, resources, and tools that I can to make life a little bit easier for somebody out there who's going through it. One of the biggest things I get hit up all the time on is Adderall. And if you even check out my other Adderall videos, I get actually bashed a lot for Adderall. Oh, you're swapping one drug for another drug. You're obviously not ADHD because cocaine is a stimulant. Cocaine I use to self-medicate. When I haven't been on Adderall, I do find another medication out there to self-medicate with. But why is Adderall so addictive? I think, and these are, again, just my points of being an addict, but also being somebody who lives with this medication because it helps me function as a human being, as an adult. When you have a stimulant that is so easily accessible, that does change how you are, there is a huge draw to it because of the accessibility. Majority of people who are ADHD are on Vyvanse, they're on Adderall, they're on Ritalin. It is a stimulant. And it's something that's easy to be abused. And when you do take it, whether you're ADHD or not, you do notice a difference. Like with ADHD, though, the big difference for me is it calms me down. It slows me down to where I can sit and I can do YouTube videos. I can work. I can do 1,000 different things throughout the day, start to finish. Where if I'm not on it, my brain is scattered all over the place. I can't focus. I get very frustrated. Depression sets in. Anxiety sets in. And so Adderall to me brings me down where, just like with cocaine, when it comes to meth, when it comes to Adderall, with a lot of different other people out there, that amps you up. I know people out there that are like, oh man, if I really want to get a bunch done today, like clean my house and all that, I'll take an Adderall because I have like unlimited energy. For me, Adderall doesn't give me the unlimited energy, but if you are not ADHD, this is going to give you a lot of energy. And let's face it, it's easy to get because a lot of people are prescribed Adderall or prescribed a stimulant for their ADHD. And let's face it, if you're not taking your meds, now you have all these meds available. And next thing you know, you have a friend coming over and saying, hey, I'll give you $20 for a couple of those. It's very, very easy to misplace your medication. It's one of those, though, that's why I think it's so addictive, is because if you don't know how to take it, even if you are ADHD and it calms you down, you almost will take more. And what I mean by that is, like with me, I had to trial and error through my Adderall to find the right dose. And if I take too much, I get very hyper focused to the point that I'm only completing one task. That alone, if I'm not medicated and I'm self-medicating myself, can be a little bit dangerous because I don't know how I'm supposed to feel and how I'm supposed to function. Being that I trialed and errored it with my doctor, I realized really quick that no, this dosage is too much. Here's what I need to maintain the right energy level, the right amount of focus to maintain. Where if you're taking this just left and right, yeah, it's one of those deals that it's going to give you a bunch of hyper focus. You're going to get the one thing done and you feel kind of good. And let's face it, we all feel good when we accomplish something. I know people out there, though, that will pop this just because they need a lot of energy. And that's not what it was designed for, but all stimulants do that. Even caffeine does that. Caffeine's designed to give you energy. If you're ever questioning your ADHD, if you can drink a cup of coffee or a pot of coffee and then go to sleep afterwards, you're probably ADHD. I'm not diagnosing anybody, but I'm telling you how it is. When it comes to these, if I really want to nap, I need to be on my Adderall because then it stops my brain from freaking out. I know that, okay, this is the time that I'm going to sleep. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. It allows me to maintain and budget my day. A lot of the people that I've talked to that have taken Adderall are like, no, man, I'm like fucking Superman the whole day through. And I'm go nonstop. And I'm getting all this stuff done. And let's face it, we always are looking for that magic pill in life that's going to make life so much easier and so much better. And sometimes people will turn to Adderall thinking it is that, just because of the fact that, oh my God, I was so productive today. Maybe I take another one, I can be even more productive. And oh my goodness, it helps me lose weight because it suppressed my appetite. That, you start selling yourself on this and so-and-so's taking it, so why can't I take it? it's one of those that it does have that addictive quality to it. And with certain people, I know that there is a detox, with the medication. For me, it's never been that way. I mean, have I abused it in different forms? Yeah, I tried snorting it before. When you snort a stimulant like that, it's not like you're snorting cocaine. It's not dissolving quite that way. And I've shared even videos on that. But I think Adderall is just so highly addictive because of how easily accessible it is. And it's even easier for people who aren't necessarily drug addicts to get their hands on it, because odds are somebody in your life that has it. And yeah, let me try it. Let me pop one of your Adderalls. Let me pop an Addy. Really? I mean, it's not designed to do that at all. I'm actually so protective of my Adderall that I am so against giving it out, because if I run out, I know what happens to my life. Like, it really starts to fall apart, because this is what I use to help focus, where other people are using it to help get themselves high. It is one of those drugs, though, that can also move you into other drugs, because let's face it, then you're as soon as you try one drug, you're usually a lot easier to move into trying other drugs, especially when it comes to like cocaine and it comes into meth. If somebody's explaining to you, hey, it makes you feel like Adderall does, but even better than, I loved how Adderall made me feel, let me try this. That's why I think it is a dangerous drug out there, especially when it is unprescribed and you're just taking it randomly. And that's why it's one of those things, I'm such a big believer in trial and error and finding out what works for you when it comes to the time of medication, because you can hear horror stories of other people with Adderall. I mean, I know people that have said that they popped Adderall like Skittles, and I don't comprehend that, because I take 10 milligrams in the morning, I take 10 milligrams in the afternoon. And there's other people out there that are like, do you even know what that does to your body? Yeah, I do. I've read all about it. Even when it comes down to Dolocin, which is an ADHD med, which is essentially legalized meth. And yes, there are 16,000 prescriptions for it wrote a year. But let's face it, I would rather somebody get themselves to the point that they're medicated, functioning as a human being that is able to maintain a life, than a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be trapped in your head as ADHD. It's not you're bouncing off of, the walls or anything. It's literally you're trapped in your thoughts. This slows your brain down to the point that you can focus in. So abusing this, it's extremely easy to get. It's not very expensive either on the street. I mean, people are selling a pill for what, $20 maybe, maybe even cheaper than that. I don't know, because I don't buy my pills on the street. I get it all prescribed to me. But it is one of those that I think that it is so highly addictive because of how easy it is to get, and that you do feel the effects, instantly. It's one of those few out there where, like with Zoloft or those, I mean, you can take when you can feel the effects of an SSRI. But with Adderall, when it comes to a stimulant, I mean, you feel that effect within about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, you're feeling that effect. So it's giving you that feeling very quickly. And it does definitely change. I mean, you feel your brain's shift mood. I mean, you feel your whole thought process fully shift moods. And you go from either very calm to very, very energetic all of a sudden, that you want to conquer the world, clean the house, all that stuff. Next thing you know, you're scrubbing the toilet with a toothbrush. Or if you're like me, it's going to actually slow you down. You're like, okay, let's get the day started. What do I do first? That is the huge difference between it. But it is a very, very highly addictive drug. It is one of those that if you are abusing it, I do have a link down below to NA. Get some help, get some treatment, because believe me, if you don't need the medication, why put it into your body if you can function? Because it does have the risk of doing certain changes and stuff to your brain, just like any medication can. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist, any of that. I know I'm going to have comments down below that tell me that I'm still getting high, all that, or I'm not sober. I get it, and I'm cool with it. Do you, I'll do me. That's pretty much what it comes down to. This helps me function as an adult, but it is also very highly addictive. I mean, I'd love to hear your comments and responses down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Even click the description box. In the description, I have links to all my different social medias. I have links to the mental health Discord community, a free peer-to-peer support. And everything I do is to bridge the gap between a crisis hotline and therapy with all the tools and experiences and shares that we can to make life a little bit easier for somebody. I even have links down below to things on Amazon that I use, like fidget cubes, fidget spinners, things that I use that help me get through every single day life. Even have a link down below to BetterHelp. I mean, it's trial and error with therapy to find out what works for you. And what works for me may not work for you, but you know what? It's about never giving up and finding what works for you, because you're the most important person in the world. I mean, you're a BAMF. You're a badass motherfucker. You've made it through 100% of your worst days to make it through 2 today. And today you got this.